Good evening. I would like to report on the state of our war against the American people. We're mounting a sustained campaign to crack down on every American and every person of every faith and every nation, and to bring them to justice. All missions are being executed according to plan, without warning or provocation. Americans are being swept up in an international dragnet. Thousands of FBI agents are on the trail of other citizens here and abroad. It has everything to do with hate and evil and murder and prejudice. America is strong.
Federal agents, we are armed!
What would you do if you knew all the things we knew? Would you stand up for truth? Or would you turn away too? And then what if you saw all of the things that's wrong? Would you stand tall and strong? Or would you turn and walk away? What would you do if you knew all the things we knew? Would you stand up for truth? Or would you turn away too? And then what if you saw all of the things that's wrong? Would you stand tall and strong? Or would you turn and walk away?
I see a message from the government,
like every day. I watch it and listen and call them all suckers. They wanted me about Osama or whatever. Picture me buying the scam, I said never. You in tune to a hard truth soldier spitting. I stay committed, gives a fuck to die, I lose commission. It's all a part of fighting devil state mind control, and all about the battle for your body, mind, and soul. And now I'm hoping you don't close your mind so they shape you. Don't forget they made us slaves, gave us AIDS and raped us. Another Bush season mean another war for profit. All in secret so the public never think to stop it. The Illuminati, 666, all connected. Stole the votes, they control the race and take elections. It's the Skull and Bones Freemason Kill Committee. See the dragon getting shittier in every city.
What would you do if you
What would you do?
knew all the things we knew? Would you stand up for truth, or would you turn away too? And then what if you saw all of the things that's wrong? Would you stand tall and strong, or would you turn and walk away?
Now ask yourself who's the one with the most to gain. For 9/11 motherfuckers couldn't stand his name. Now even niggas waving flags like they lost their mind. Everybody got opinions but don't know the time. Cause America's been took, it's plain to see. The oldest trick in the book is making enemy. A phony evil so the government can do its dirt and take away your freedom, lock and load, beat and search. Ain't nothing changed but more colored people locked in prison. These pigs still beat us, but it seems we forgetting. But I remember 4 September how these devils do it. Fuck Giuliani, ask Diallo how he doing. We in the streets, holler jail to the thief. Follow, fuck waving flags, bring these dragons to their knees. Oil, blood, money, make these killers ride cold. Suspicious suicide, people dying, never told. It's all a part of playing God, so you think we need them. While being Ashcroft, take away your rights to freedom. Bear witness to the sickness of these dictators. Hope you understand the time, brother, cause it's major.
What would you do if you knew all the things we knew? Would you stand up for truth, or would you turn away too? And then what if you saw all of the things that's wrong? Would you stand tall and strong, or would you turn and walk away?
So now you asking why my records always come the same. Keep it real, ain't no fillers, motherfucker blinging. Mine eyes seen the gory of the coming of the beast. So every story, every word, I'm saying fuck peace. See, you could witness the Illuminati body count. Don't be surprised, these is devils that I'm talking about. You think a couple thousand lies mean shit to killers? Nigga, I swear to God, we the ones, ain't no villains. Or any other word they think to demonize a country. Ain't no terror threat unless approval rating slumping. So I'ma say it for the record, we the ones that planned it. Ain't no other country took a part or had their hand in. Just a way to keep you scary so you think you need them. Praising Bush while that killer take away your freedom. How many of us got discovered but ignore the symptoms? Niggas talking loud but ain't nobody saying shit. And with the 4th Amendment gone, eyes are on the 1st. That's why I'm spitting cyanide each and every verse. I see the Carlisle group and Harris bank accounts. I see them plead the 5th each and every session now. And while Reichstag burns, see the public buy it. I see the profiling, see the media's compliance. War's good for business, see the vicious make a savior. Hope you understand the time, brother, cause it's major.
What would you do if you knew all the things we knew? Would you stand up for truth, or would you turn away too? And then what if you saw all of the things that's wrong? Would you stand tall and strong, or would you turn and walk away? What would you do if you knew all the things we knew? Would you stand up for truth, or would you turn away too? And then what if you saw all of the things that's wrong? Would you stand tall and strong, or would you turn and walk away?
You can't imagine how much money they've spent trying to silence good people who have put their lives on the line to fight for change.
What would you do? What would you do?
Father, can Bad Religion on Widdershins. I think we heard Paris before that. I'm not sure what we heard before that, but the Legua song, but I forget who sang that, and I can't scroll back that far on the screen. But it's Widdershins. Radio for your spiritual side. A twisted approach to the left-hand path. Brothers and sisters, boys and girls, thank you for joining us once again on our regularly scheduled broadcast time. And we got people in the chat room typing in hieroglyphs or something. Yeah, there's a little goat, a knife, a little heart-looking thing, a square rectangle. Oh, a musical note. What's that? The thing that goes on the end of the notes? It almost looks like an ampersand, but not quite. You don't know what that's called, do you? If anybody knew what that was called, Marta might know.
I used to.
She used to, but she didn't. But so that thing, which must mean we love you, Widdershins. EF still type that. We love you, Widdershins, in hieroglyphs and musical notes. And we love you too. What's that?
There's like a weird font that like makes weird shapes and stuff called Zap Dingbats.
She could be using Zap Dingbats.
No, I don't think it has musical notes or anything. Yeah. I was just saying.
Some of the shit wasn't exactly hieroglyphs, but close enough. Symbols to be words. Well, welcome to the show, y'all. Here we are. I told our special guest to call in like any minute, and there he is. There he is. I knew it was going to happen. So hold on. So I'm going to answer the special guest, and the special guest hears me, but we're not talking yet. We're not opening the mic. But I didn't even have a chance to do the introduction because I was still talking about Widdershins and stuff like that. But tonight, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, special guest. I had always intended... I didn't know we were going to have guests as soon as we had guests, but I always intended on this being our first guest on Widdershins, and then timing wasn't good for him, and we had other guests, and finally, the timing is right to have Candelo Kimbisa on the air. It's going to be weird for me. This is going to be odd. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I was the co-host on his show for at least 2 years. It's be weird, me controlling the mic, and Marta's here now too. So it's like, we have our own co-hosts and everything going on. Or am I the co-host, or are you the host? You're probably the host, even though you're not here sometimes.
No, you're the host. I'm the co-host. No,
really?
no,
You're going to take a back seat this time? No. Marta's taking a back... Wait, dear diary. No. Marta's taking a back seat?
You need to listen. We're both the co-hosts. You're a co-host. I'm a co-host.
Could we just both be hosts?
Yeah.
Or you could be a hostess. That'd be kind of cute. You could put on a little apron.
I'm not going to put a word for you.
Oh, come on.
No.
I mean, not for the radio show. But, later?
No.
Another time? No, not today. All right. Anyway, let's get to it. At least 2 years. Over 2 years ago, when I was still in Santa Cruz, I received I think it was a call. I don't know how he communicated it, but Candelo Kimbisa reached out to me and asked me to be on his show as a guest and talk about my shop and that kind of shit. And I had the brick and mortar and the online shop and all that shit. And so I did that, and I had a great time because I was a long time listener of Candelo's Corner. I mean, by the time I caught up to Candelo's Corner, there was all kind of archives, in iTunes and everywhere else. So I was, listening to old shows. Huh?
Lots of corners.
There was lots of corners. And so I was an avid Candelo's Corner listener. I in addition to my occult job, there was a time when I worked another job and I drove around a lot up in the mountains and listening to Candelo's Corner the whole time. And so I was a guest one day, and then I had a great time, went great, and then a day or two later, get a call from Candelo Kimbisa himself. And he says, people really think we had a chemistry, and they loved how the show went. So I'm just going to throw that out there. You want to be my co-host? And I was like, what? Well, fuck yeah, I want to be your fucking co-host. And 2 years until the Candelo show went on hiatus or wherever it is. I'm not sure exactly where it is right now, but the Candelo's Corner, the Monday night show, all the way to the end. I was co-host, and Amoria was a co-host too towards the end there too, and miss it. Tuesdays not the same as Mondays. Still miss that show, but I've been wanting to get him on for a while now. But Candelo, he been moving and shit. He has some shit to do, so it's finally a good time to get him on the air. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore because most of you people, or probably a lot of you people that ended up on this show because you knew me from there. And this show was born kind of out of Tigergate. It was right around then, and shit was falling apart. And I think that was some of our first shows. Like we had a couple shows where we talked about pretty much nothing, and then Tigergate happened. Tigergate.
I was thinking about Charlie Sheen. Tiger
Blood. No, not Tiger Blood.
Now I get it. Yeah.
Our show was kind of born out of Tigergate, and we were the first to exodus over here to Spreaker, and then a lot of the shows that were on the Lucky Mojo or the LMC radio network that were hosted by black people, they left, and a lot of them went to Spreaker. And we're the white equivalent. We went there too. But so, without further ado, most of you must already know, and if you don't know, you'd be going online. Go to Kimbisa.org. Find out all about Candelo Kimbisa. He's here on Spreaker doing his show, I think at least 4 days a week is the schedule for, it's 12 o'clock somewhere. But he'll clarify all that. Without further ado, welcome to the air, and salam alaikum to you, brother. Candelo.
Malaikum salam. And first of all, I want to say Tigergate. Slowly I turned, step by step, and then I struck. I get shivers every time I hear that goddamn Tigergate stuff. It was such an unpleasant thing, but it did give us a lot of material to speak about, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Right away. Trying to figure out how to adjust your audio level here. I don't hear you as well as I've heard other people on here, but I'll figure that out. But I hear you well. How are you, my brother? You just went through a big move. You're near Houston? Fort Worth?
Well, no, actually, I am in Fort Worth, Texas now. Fort Worth, Texas. I am loving it. We're going to, as they say, put down a flag down here. We're already meeting people. I didn't know that there was such a big exodus of spiritual people. Well, I don't know why I'm muffled because I'm speaking directly into a microphone. Maybe it's something on your end.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, last week's guest I could hear better. It's just my speakers on this end. You sound good. I can see your levels. Your levels are great. It's just to my internal hearing level, audio levels. So you're good.
Oh, okay. So I moved to Fort Worth, Texas. Okay. Maybe about 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks or maybe 4. I don't know. And I'm loving it. There is a little void here. Yeah, there is, some spiritual work here, some there, but no one bringing our style. Okay. As you know, Professor Porterfield has been living here for several years, well, forever, really, in Texas, but for several years in Denton. So our whole thing is to open up some type of shop somewhere in between the triangle. The triangle is Dallas, Fort Worth, and Texas. And Denton, sorry. So that's our whole thing. We're thinking about opening up, starting our own shop. I'm already meeting several other people in the HERs, in Lukumi and Palo, and we're doing our thing, slowly but surely. We're getting it out there. I happened to mention, how we're making how we're growing a spiritual community here. Somebody says, "Oh, we've already been here." Well, okay. Candelo Kimbisa hasn't been here. Okay. I pride myself in what I do. Okay, and try to do it right. And as far as missing Candelo's corner, I do miss it. But it was so it was something that I had did on and off, on for almost 5 years. And just getting new topics, getting new guests was becoming harder and harder every time we did it. And since the last, I say 2 years of it, right, Michael, we were working with we were working under the LMC, let's say, umbrella. And whether or not we want to admit it or not, there were a lot of things that we were, censored from saying. And that became pretty heavy on me, because we always had, this fucker in the back of us, telling us what we should and what we shouldn't say and trying to pry us for information on our fucking show. When on their show, you can't get a fucking word edgewise out of nobody but Miss Meow Meow. You understand? But anyway, that's a whole other story. What else do you want to talk about, Michael?
Yeah. Well, where'd you go?
Well, I'm right here, brother.
Okay. yeah, I hear you. Actually, I might
Did
have
you
to
not?
use my headphones in a minute. I just can't hear you well enough.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, brother. I said a whole bunch of stuff there in a couple of...
Many years.
Mm-hmm.
So what else is going on with these? So you moved to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's a whole lot different than Florida. You're close to Charles Porterfield, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And working on opening your own shop.
Right. And while we're at it, meeting a lot of wonderful people that are I was, as a matter of fact, I was in a botanica over here. And I happened to meet several African Americans that were looking for munazos, or were looking for relays,
Nice.
And like I said, people say that there's all this here, but shit, to me it seems like there's a big void, especially for the African American community.
Yeah.
Okay?
So it's like
it seems,
hoodoo focused kind of shop? Or?
well, that's what I really want to do. I want to, myself in Porterfield, I've been speaking for quite some time now about opening up a hoodoo type shop or a root workshop. Okay? There is a big void here for that. As a matter of fact, brother, I will go as far as saying that the one or two shops that are here, okay, the metaphysical shops, are afraid of hoodoo.
Afraid of hoodoo?
Afraid of hoodoo. There is a shop here. All right? Okay. There's a shop here that their hair stand up every time they hear that Porterfield is going to go there.
Porterfield? I mean,
Porterfield.
I wouldn't want to piss off Charles Porterfield, but he is, a polite, classy, entertaining guy. It's like any workshop that he would give anywhere I would think would be well attended at the very least, and make him some money.
Well, brother, again, listen, they are afraid of the hoodoo. Because y'all...
Right. You there still? Wow. I'll tell you what. Oh, he just totally dropped out. All right. Hopefully Candelo's going to call back. I'm going to play a damn song and grab some freaking headphones, and I'll be right back.
Sarabanda ta sere sere. Palo kindiambo ese suave. Lumbe, lumbe, lumbe. Lumbe la cueva en ganga. Y Sarabanda ta sere sere. Palo kindiambo ese suave. Lumbe, 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 ay yo. Lumbe la cueva en ganga, we. Mis 7 rayos ta sere sere. Palo kindiambo ese suave. Lumbe, lumbe, lumbe. Lumbe la cueva en ganga. Si 7 rayos ta sere sere. Palo kindiambo ese suave. Vamos a yumbulia, un Congo mayumbulia. 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 Viene o no viene, sin bajo te llama. Viene, viene, sin bajo te espera. Viene, viene, sin bajo te llama. Viene, viene, sin bajo te espera. Viene o no viene, sin bajo te llama. Viene, viene, sin bajo te espera. Viene, viene, sin bajo te llama. Viene, viene, sin bajo te espera. Viene o no viene, sin bajo te llama. Viene, viene, sin bajo te espera. Viene, viene, sin bajo te llama. Viene, viene, sin bajo te espera. Yo vine pa' ver, yo vine pa' mirar. Cuando yo llegue a la tierra, yo vine pa' mirar. Yo vine pa' ver, yo vine pa' mirar. Yo vine pa' mirar, yo vine pa' mirar. Yo vine pa' ver, yo vine pa' mirar. Yo vine pa' mirar, yo vine pa' mirar. Yo vine pa' ver, yo vine pa' mirar. Yo vine pa' mirar al mundo, yo vine pa' mirar. Yo vine pa' ver, yo vine pa' mirar. Ahora verá, ahora verá. Ahora verá, ahora verá. 7 rayos en la palma, ahora verá. Ahora verá, ahora verá. 7 rayos en la palma, ahora verá. Ahora verá, ahora verá. Ahora verá, nana, ahora verá. 7 rayos en la palma, ahora verá. Ahora verá, ahora verá. 7 rayos en la palma, ahora verá. Ahora verá, nana, ahora verá. Ahora verá, nana, ahora verá. 7 rayos en la palma, ahora verá. Ahora verá, ahora verá. 7 rayos en la palma, ahora verá. Si en mi tierra no hay sol, yo brinca la angoya. Yo quemo agua no seco, canela colora. Si en mi tierra no hay sol, yo brinca la angoya. Yo quemo agua no seco, canela colora. Si en mi tierra no hay sol, yo brinca la angoya. Yo quemo agua no seco, canela colora. Si en mi tierra no hay sol, yo brinca la angoya. Yo quemo agua no seco, canela colora. Si en mi tierra no hay sol, yo brinca la angoya. Yo quemo agua no seco, canela colora. Si en mi tierra no hay sol, yo brinca la angoya. Yo quemo agua no seco, canela colora. Vamos a la quemanza ahora. Vamos, vamos. Vamos a la quemanza ahora. Vamos, vamos. Vamos a la quemanza ahora. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Vamos a la quemanza ahora. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Vamos a la quemanza ahora. Vamos, vamos. Vamos a la quemanza ahora. Vamos, vamos. Vamos a la quemanza ahora. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Vamos a la quemanza ahora. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Vamos a la quemanza ahora. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Vamos a la quemanza.
All right, damn it. All right, we got Scat back hooked up, and got to drop Candelo out. So I believe Candelo's back. Hello.
I am back, brother.
There you go. All right, I
I'm
hear
part
you
of
now
15
too.
seconds talking loud.
You're still talking?
I spent the better part of Yeah, I'm still talking.
All right. Well, what did we miss? What was the last
don't know.
15 seconds? What you said?
Well,
You don't
brother.
remember?
I can't remember now. I was going off on another tangent. You know what's going on, guys? This is too funny to me, man. Because I've heard you for the last couple of months on the show. You have not had one, and I bring my ass over here, and the goddamn thing drops me. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness
Yeah,
gracious. What is wrong with
I'm
this?
hearing you.
Oh, okay. So you see that you have a nice little pack. Okay, I just got a message from Widdershins, but I only have that on my other computer, not on this one. Okay.
Okay, good.
So it'll be. Do you want me to pick it up?
No. I think I was calling you while you were calling back, and it went to your voicemail because you were calling back. So we're good. You'll probably just hear you and me talking on that message.
Oh, okay. We'll just probably be talking to each other.
Yep. All right.
So anyway, bro. So tell me, what do you think about all this?
Okay, go ahead.
Well, brother, I don't know, bro. I don't have
what do I think about all this?
What do you think about all this stuff? What do you think about all this stuff that's going on? The people calling the cops on people while sleeping and while having barbecues on parks, and last but not least, that one thing that happened with the lady calling the cops on a real estate agent. Did you see that?
Yeah. There was the one in Princeton sleeping in the common area. Yale. Was it Yale? I thought it was Princeton. Okay. Yeah, Yale. Well, it's some ridiculous ass bullshit. And the fact that the cops show up, it's like, okay, so you got a suspicious person. That I think is the type of call that would be, and then the cops show up, and there's nothing that makes the person suspicious except for their skin color. It's like, I have to look back, a former life of mine, when I held that job. I was like, okay, how would I put this on paper? What was my probable cause? What was the suspicion? How was this person a suspicious person? And back in my day, they had this thing, and the whole world had this thing. Politicians had this thing. Cops had this thing. Everything had to pass what they called the straight face test. You had to be able to say it with a straight face, like you believed it. And, post-Trump, none of that exists anymore, and I don't think that exists for law enforcement, politicians, anything in the world. You can say any ludicrous fucking thing you want. You can do any ludicrous fucking thing you want, and you don't have to justify it. And if you shoot an unarmed black man, you need to make sure to say that you were in fear for your life. And I recall that in the academy. It wasn't specifically, they didn't say, when you shoot an unarmed black man. They said you need to use that in all reports where you used force of any kind. Here are the magic words you need to use. I was in fear for my life. And to this day, that's the magic words for cops. I think that's the magic words for everybody. If cops can use that, you can be in fear for your life too.
Yes, you being the
go ahead.
you being the student of religious studies and Bibles and stuff like that. There, what do you think about this thing that's going on in Israel? Because I got something to say about it.
What do I? Well,
don't get scared now.
Okay. Well, you asked me, and I'm going to say something that's rather controversial, but it's historical record, and I'll preface it with my headline: "The nation of Israel was founded on terrorism," and then I'll go back to history. The post-World War II, the British held Israel. The British did not just hand over the land to the Israelis. There were a militant group, I forget the name because I wasn't planning on saying this, but there was a militant group of Israelis that they didn't go like full full Muslim and suicide bomb and shit, but they bombed hotels, they did car bombs, they bombed any place where the British military congregated and where they stayed in the hotels. It bombed them, assassinations, all kinds of shit. And eventually it became too much trouble for the British to hold the land, and that's how the nation of Israel was founded. Now, prior to that, the land has an extreme history of violence, back and forth. Muslims take it, Christians take it, the Jews take it, back and forth, back and forth. It has always been that way, and it will always be that way. It's never going to change, and everybody's going to be trying to fix it all the time. I think it was an extremely bad idea for our country or for our, the president, I will not call him our president, to align with Israel against the Palestinians when all other presidents before that knew that particular fucking thing right there, we need to stay neutral in. And if we don't stay neutral in there, the whole fucking Muslims world's going to turn on us. Bad idea. Where are you going with this?
Where am I going with this? I got to tell you, brother, because I got people on my friends list and on my timeline that feel that every Jewish person is to blame for what's going on in Israel right now.
Well, that would be anti-Semitism.
Well, let's just say that they think that everybody's to blame for that.
Yeah.
I feel that they're not. Okay.
No.
I feel that we need to stay the fuck out of that shit. Yeah. Period. Stay neutral as we was, and that's it. We need to stay neutral in a lot of shit, except where genocide is happening and all that stuff there. And even in some cases like that, I said, let them fucking figure it out. All right? Yeah. I do not give two flying fucks about what's going on in Israel, what's going on in any motherfucking other country. In that sense, I am a little bit of a fucking nationalist. I say, let's fix what's going on here. Let's fix systemic racism. Let's fight hunger in the United States. Let's fight poverty here. You understand?
Yeah.
There is too many people that go to bed every night without a sufficient meal.
Well,
there are too many people.
I agree.
Huh?
I agree.
There are too many people. Crime here is going fucking rampant. Let's fix that without the fucking police brutality. See, so whenever you tell me that I don't care about these people, it's not that I don't care about them. It's that I care about what's happening here more. I really care about what's happening here more.
I'm on your page, been on your show, I've heard this plenty.
Your thing just went down.
What's that?
Yeah, I understand, sweetie. Yeah. But she says true, but many global problems have been caused directly by the United States. I understand that. That's why the hell we need to get the hell up out of it.
Well, yeah,
and that's true. And to blame somebody else thing. And let me tell you something. The biggest threat we got in all this, and remember what I'm telling you, is the evangelicals. All right? God, that sounds terrible, brother. Your microphone is cracking up.
It does that sometimes. There we go. I so much like I like the mobile broadcast better, but I can't have guests that way, so I had to break out the PC. Is that better?
Right. Your microphone has gone down tremendously.
Oh, Jesus. How's that?
Yeah, exactly. So, the evangelicals, the only reason they're doing this, because the evangelicals can't even stand the Jewish people. That is a pure habit of that's a pure thing of, you can see the person that spoke there, what he said about Jewish people, what he said about Muslims. All right? They don't give a fuck. They want the second coming, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's a threat not only to this nation, but it's a threat to Israel too.
Well, can I tell you the funny part about that? Is
yes.
Is my mic better?
It's a little bit better, yes, much better.
The entire Revelations portion of the Bible was written as a prophecy, but it was a prophecy for 2 years from then, not 2,000 years from then. The Armageddon, all the nations of the world gathering at the plains of Armageddon to fight the final battle. That happened. That happened several times. The Antichrist was Caesar. That was the Jews' Antichrist. It was written. It was a prophecy, a short-term prophecy, and we're still waiting for it to happen. It happened for anybody to gather at the plains of Armageddon in this day and age, or Armageddon, would be ridiculous. In that age, controlling that piece of land controlled 5 or 6 countries. It was a multiple crossroads. It was a strategic piece of land. And the nations of the world in ancient times gathered there many times to fight over that land.
Right.
It already happened, people. We're still waiting for it to happen. It's an insignificant piece of desert now, and none of the roads go anywhere. Nobody would fight over that piece of land again. It already happened. The Antichrist already happened. He was Caesar. It's a short-term prophecy, and everybody's still waiting for it to fucking happen. And then some people tried to make it fucking happen. And if it is happening now, Trump would probably be the Antichrist, and all those bitches voted for him. You know how I feel about that shit. You know what I'm saying.
Well, brother, that's why I asked you. And I got people that are actually attacking friends of mine. What do you think about this? And just like me and my buddy were talking today, he said, "Shit, man, I don't live in fucking Israel."
There's that. We have no clue what fucking goes on over there.
We have no fucking clue what goes on over there. So stay the fuck out of my inbox with that bullshit.
I've had friends that have gone over there and help with the olive harvest, and they've engaged in protests over there. It's like I have no fucking clue, but I do. I watch things happening. I'm a student of history, and this whole settlement scheme that Israel came up with maybe 20 years ago to have their citizens settle in what was Palestinian land, that's a very old scheme. All colonialists did that. They put their people in harm's way, and then let their people have squabbles with the indigenous there, and if the indigenous happen to overcome their people, well, then they send their military in there to wipe out the indigenous. It's a very old story, and it's a way of getting the people behind this treachery that you're doing. It's making it about them.
Michael, it sounds like gentrification.
Absolutely, it's gentrification on an ancient scale, and that's how it was done. It's how it was done in Ireland. When the English came in there, people always think of Northern Ireland was this battle between the Catholics and the Protestants. It's like, well, yeah, but the Protestants were British, the Catholics were Irish, and the Protestants were brought in there to settle pieces of the land and have their own clashes with the Irish. To further the British's colonial fucking goals. It's just a very old fucking game. And I just recognize that it's a very old fucking game that somebody, Israel, there's the only people I know of. Israel is the only people playing the colonialization that game. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it is what it is. If you do know that I had a gentleman on my show. I'm not a gentleman. I had the wife of the gentleman. Miss Lipskitz, okay? This gentleman was a person that wrote the biggest archive of Holocaust. What happened in the Holocaust? The survivors, the not survivors, the ones that died, the ones that the ones that made it. But this is a book that has, it's a computer program that has everybody in it.
Yeah.
And she was very anti-Israel. She said it on the show. If you look up for it on Blog Talk Radio, Candelo's Corner, you'll find out what she thought about it. And a very, very well-known author about the Holocaust and things of that sort. So check her out and find out what she said about it, okay?
Yeah.
I hate for everybody to think that everybody's a Zionist. Everybody's not a Zionist.
Yeah. No, well,
Okay.
It's always been a very,
touchy
tearing
subject.
issue for me. A touchy subject, I'm a political activist. Most of my friends were, and, they're always, immediately on the side of the Palestinians. I was always just, trying to figure shit out. But as a revolutionary anarchist, it's hard for me to root for the side that has the tanks against the side that are throwing rocks at the tanks. I mean, maybe I'm just geared to root for the underdog who has no chance of fucking winning. But the years of seeing, Palestinian children throwing rocks at tanks, it's like, it's a futile thing, but they seem so such the underdog. I probably rooted for the Palestinians more than them. Yeah.
And I understand why people have these things because seeing that of course it's heart wrenching. Okay,
yeah.
But if you want to be so much of an activist, go jump on a plane, go pick up some fucking rocks and start slinging them too. Okay, I don't want to hear that shit on my timeline. All right, I got too much shit going on over here.
That's why I've always been to try
Right.
the kind of activist around subjects I could reach. Never a Palestinian activist. I'm not fucking going over there. Northern California, save some fucking trees. Yeah. San Francisco, save some jobs. Fucking fight some racism. Yeah. Try and free Mumia. Spent a lot of time trying to free fucking Mumia. but it was stuff that you could do here at home.
Yeah, it's stuff that you can do here at home. And I can't phantom it. Okay, all these social media. These social media activists. Okay, that's basically what we have here. Okay,
Yes.
A whole bunch of social media things that say, Palestine, Africa.
Yeah.
But yet do not put their money, their sweat, their time towards these things. All they do is talk shit about it. Okay.
Yeah.
I have, and not that I'm bumping my bones or blowing my horns, but I have several causes that I personally to. Okay, I do this on a monthly basis. All right, because I care about these certain things.
Huh.
All right, I care about children with fucking brain cancer here in the United States that you don't have money to pay for it.
Yeah.
I care about, I honestly, at first I used to say, well, I care about wounded soldiers.
Yes.
Okay. I care about wounded soldiers because I don't believe that soldiers when they get here. You know what I'm saying? I care about African American businesses.
Yeah.
I really do. Okay.
Hey, have you seen that app?
Okay.
They have this app that I saw advertised where you can, easily locate African American owned businesses near you.
Yes, I think that was started by Jay-Z and what is his name? Puffy.
And I just think there's more Klan members downloading that than anybody else. I immediately see that. It's like if they had an app, locate the witches near you. I would think that the evangelical Christians were downloading that fucking app. So,
yeah, right.
It's going to be misused.
Man, that is the biggest hypocritical bunch of bigots I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah, they're still supporting Trump.
All right? They're supporting Trump. They're supporting this. Come on, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that you're following whatever when you're asking for the total annihilation or that everyone that has not accepted your form of Christianism, bro, as we all know, even Catholics are bad for them.
Oh, yeah.
Catholics are going to hell.
Yeah.
All right? Mormons are going to hell. Jehovah's Witnesses are going to hell.
Everybody. Everybody else
Man,
going to
listen.
hell.
Let me tell you something. Bro, if when I pass, you have anyone speaking that shit in front of the altar, I'm haunting everybody. I'm going to make sure I'm taking at least 5 or 6 of you with me, including the preacher.
Well,
I went to a funeral more or less about a month ago.
yeah.
Did not believe anymore in Christianity. Everything that was spoken there was about how everybody needs to accept Christ. And if you didn't accept Christ, how, that this and this and this. And, I was heartbroken at the funeral, but I was even more heartbroken at the family trial.
Yeah.
With this type of service, when the person did not believe in that.
I was wondering,
You understand?
I remember hearing about that. And I was wondering, like, did that person leave a will?
No. But
see, people like fucking leave a fucking will,
at
least for the
Yeah,
purpose.
so
I mean,
people
you know,
take it- so
you want to
people
take
take
care of your loved ones and stuff. But that kind of thing is like, do not have a Christian ceremony for my fucking funeral. It was like, have a will just for that, but you take care of your family and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, have that kind of shit in your will. It's like, I'd be rolling in my fucking grave if somebody fucking did that at my fucking funeral. Yeah, I don't want a fucking funeral anyway, so I'd be cremated.
Well, as an
Or a
old
Viking
Alicia and
funeral.
a Palero, yeah, cool, a pirate, yeah.
I got Viking blood. Until we get the DNA test, bitch,
Huh?
I'm talking to Marta. Until we get the DNA test, man, I got some serious Viking blood, all right?
Yeah, but now you
Listen
want
here,
me
brother.
to plan out a Viking funeral?
Well, no. I didn't say you'd still be alive.
Listen, brother.
I'm sorry, we had some banter going on over here in the corner. Go ahead.
You know what happens? You know what happens is that I would definitely have to be buried in an unmarked grave.
Yeah.
Okay. Why an unmarked grave? Because do you know
You want to end up in a
how
pot.
many active? Yes. How many active paleros? All right. Or 10, 20, 30 years from now, that would find out that Candelo Kimbisa is buried here. That would try to get those bones or my bones to be able to work with them and put them in pots and put them in all kind of shit.
Hell yeah. Paula makes you think about shit like that.
Yeah. of
Somebody
course,
wraps
well,
that chain around the fucking pot. You think, I don't want to be that.
Well, then. Oh yeah, I mean, but it is what it is. But no, I would definitely. Or maybe make him put it under my Christian name.
Yeah.
Because I could just see a bitch sneaking in there at night, trying to get some bones or trying to get a finger bone because they know. Oh, hoodoo is trying to get a finger bone because they know I'm a gambler.
Gotta get that middle finger bone.
Them sons of bitches, man. You know what, bro? You know what I've been laughing at, man?
What?
And it's fucking. That's why I coined Lucky Mojo stuff. Hoodoo, suburban hoodoo housewives magic.
Yeah.
Because so much of the stuff so much of the stuff that was in real African American folklore, they have omitted. Okay?
Uh-huh.
She says buy what do you call this? Cemetery dirt from me. You don't have to go to a cemetery. Animal sacrifice is not used in hoodoo. Yes, the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Okay? If you look at some of the earlier writings in hoodoo, you will see where mice were put in bags and prickled to death, where a cat was taken to a cemetery and burned. Okay, you will see where and this is a fun fact. Okay, do you this was taught to me by Professor Porterfield. Okay, you know where you get the thing from the hellhounds from, and the dogs around the cemetery?
No.
Okay. Cemeteries back in the day were consecrated with a dog. With a dog. A dog was killed and placed inside of a cemetery, inside a plot.
Never heard that one.
That's why you hear somebody has an old cemetery dog on them and stuff like that there. Because people, old workers, would go and work with that dog and get them out there and sick them on people.
Excellent. Hey, let's go to a musical break.
Of course, the word. Go ahead,
right
brother. I
back.
gotta go get me some coconut juice or something.
All right. All right, give me some other juice. Widdershins. We'll be right back.
Long ago in a dusty village full of hunger, pain, and strife, a man came forth with a vision of truth and the way to a better life. He was convinced he had the answer and he compelled people to follow along. But the hunger never vanished and the man was banished and the village dried up and died. At a time when wise men peered through glass tubes towards the sky, the heavens changed in predictable ways and one man was able to find that he had thought he found the answer and he was quick to write his revelation. But as they were scrutinized in his colleagues' eyes, he soon became a mockery. Don't tell me about the answer, cause then another one will come along soon. I don't believe you have the answer. I've got ideas too. But if you got enough naivety and you got conviction, then the answer is perfect for you. Sits choking on his discharge, overwhelmed by industry, searching for a modern day savior from another place, inclined for charity. Everyone begging for an answer without regard to validity. The searching never ends, it goes on and on and on for eternity. Then the answer is perfect for you. The answer is perfect for you.
Where they look for the missing link. There's no missing link. They'll
gonna find the missing link. There's no missing link. We're not something you can figure out with an equation. We are the genetic mutation. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Darwin tried explaining it. Darwin did the best he could. Evolution, pretty theory, but how could Darwin know that aliens came and fucked the monkey? They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. How else explain fast machine? How else explain computer enhancement? How else explain fiber optics? How else explain Mozart? We did not belong here. This planet was a terrarium, intergalactic broken home. Have to go to outer space and one day find our daddy. How else explain pay at the pump? How else explain limited access freeways? Digital remastering, plastic flowers, linoleum, beefalo, Michael Jordan, religion, astronomy, astrology that looks to the stars. We do not belong here. This planet was a terrarium. 7 billion bastards screaming for their daddy. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey.
Dan Byrne on Widdershins Radio. And I got to tell you guys, because it's the 6 o'clock hour, here on Spreaker, you need to follow us, man. You need to follow the shows that you like. There's so many since the exit, after Tigergate and whatnot, over here to Spreaker, because Spreaker's the best thing that most of us found. And the thing with Spreaker is that all of us that are on Spreaker, including Candelo Kimbisa, of course, we have a large package that we can utilize way better than we ever could at Blog Talk Radio. But get with the package. You know I'm going to talk about my package at 6 o'clock every Tuesday. She says. We can come on the air anytime we want. Our particular package we have right now, we can do unlimited 3-hour broadcasts per day. If we wanted to, we could go 24/7, just rebooting every fucking 3 hours, because we can do that. And not doing that means we're not getting our money's worth from our package. So, you're on Spreaker. There's a little button there. Follow. might have to set up an account really quickly. You can set up an account with Facebook. It takes a couple seconds. 3 clicks away. You've set up an account. You can follow. You can get in the chat room where there's all kind of stuff going on. And shout outs to this chat room. Whoops. No, I don't want to click on there. I'm just trying to scroll on the damn chat room. Can you let me do that, you fucking thing? Let's see. EF Still, Lorelei. Candelo was in the chat room. There's Wen. Hello. Crystal. There's Lorelei again. Man, they're having... These people are going back and forth about something. I don't know, but a lot of the usual cast of characters in the chat room. But you get in the chat room. But the important thing is that when you follow, you get notifications. You get an email notification. If you get the Spreaker app, then you get push notifications. You can set those up to know when your favorite shows go on the air. We've got like Amberzine Liquid Libations. She goes on the air pretty randomly. I've not heard of a regularly broadcast schedule for her. Beverly Smith, I'm not even sure. I know she's over here doing In the Streets, but I'm not even sure what days she has or what her scheduled broadcast time is. But like somebody like Beverly could get the mobile app on her phone and literally do In the Streets from the streets on her phone, and you wouldn't know it because you didn't follow, because you didn't listen to what I just told you. Follow, you bitches. My God, how many times do I have to tell you that? All right. Candelo, how the fuck are you? You still there?
I'm absolutely wonderful. I just had several people say that they were offended by the things that I said on here. Guess what?
Well,
they were
get
meant
used
to
to
offend.
You don't know Candelo.
They were meant to offend, but they were meant also to give people an insight into me, man. You know, because people say, well, you know, you go for social justice issues and you won't do this. You do this, but you won't do that. Well, that's why God fucking made colors. So you can pick and choose what it is you want to do or live with. Okay?
What a beautiful way to say that.
I do not choose to live my life the way that other people do. Okay? I spent enough time doing that when I was a child.
Yes, why be normal?
Okay? Right, exactly. And we have so much more to do and so much more to look forward to, okay? But I honestly believe that we should try to fix this before we try to fix anything else, okay? Let's fix this, all right? There is no reason why we can't put our time, effort, and money into things that are going on around here. All right, your backyard.
Yes.
That's the way I feel.
Yes, I mean, at the very least, you got a body. You can show up. You can make stuff happen. Most of my time in activism, I had nothing. I was devoted to full-time activism. Most of my money came from my music and busking on the streets, and even that was activism. I was playing all protest songs while I was fucking doing that. Did a good, 10 years of that. Cutting vegetables every fucking morning to serve the fucking homeless for food not bombs. If you got no money, you might have some time. Especially, if you don't have a job, you have some time. Unless you're really going to tell us that you're looking for a job every day. You got some time to do some good in the fucking world. Yeah. And that reflects back on you.
Exactly. Yes, it does. And it is what it is. Well, guys, I want to tell everybody, man, that on the 25th, I'm having a spiritual reunion in my Munaso. So please do hit me up if you're in or around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Hit me up on either of my things, and I'll tell you exactly where you can come, where you can meet us. And the only thing I ask that you bring is probably some flowers, okay? But other than that, everything else is totally free. So I would love to see you here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for the spiritual reunion. And in June, I'll be at the St. John's Fete, I believe it is, in New Orleans with Miss Cat. Miss Cat, oh shit. With Mama Star.
Oh, wow, very different, very different.
Very different people. In September, we got the Mile High Conjure Gala in in beautiful Denver, Colorado. And there's
Yes.
I remember right now. I'm tired. After eating that fish, yeah, I'm like slowly crashing.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, I found myself finally a place where I can find fresh fish here in Fort Worth.
Oh, we are so into that. We as you know, we lived in that place called Grass Valley for over a year, and it was a good 3 hours from the coast. So fresh seafood, no, that wasn't happening, man. Sushi was even hard to find.
Wow, I have yet to find a good sushi place. I found one in Dallas, but I haven't found one here in Fort Worth. I'm pretty sure they got one maybe in downtown, but I haven't found one yet. But I'll find it. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat pork, so it's very limited to the things that I go out and eat.
We still do. Like, what, you been there a month? 2 months?
Yeah, a month. Yeah,
not that long. You'll find everything you need to find, and Charles Porterfield will be able to show you around too. He knows.
Oh, of course.
He's close.
Yeah, he knows a lot of little holes in the wall over here.
Yeah. So I was kind of plugging your show, but is it 4 days a week? It's 12 o'clock somewhere?
Yeah, I try to do it 4 days a week, or at least 5 times a week. It depends.
Any particular days, or just the days that you pick?
No, I just try to just go in there every day. I try to go in there Monday through Thursday. Okay.
See, you need to follow.
I'll do it on Friday.
Yeah. See, follow him. Follow him.
Yeah, but what happens is that the show, since I moved over here, I still haven't been able to change all the stuff up on my webpage.
Yeah.
So sometimes someone might grab because I used to have from 12 to 12:45 free every day. All right. So what happens now? 12. It's 11 to 11:45 because I'm 1 hour behind. So if somebody was to come in and get a reading at that time, I have to get the reading because I do the show for free. You know what I mean? So as soon as I'm over with the reading, then I go on and do the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect.
Anything that we put, it's 12 o'clock somewhere. So it may be, 11:30 here. I mean, it may be 11 o'clock here, but it's 12 o'clock on the East Coast.
Somewhere.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
Somewhere it's 12 o'clock.
So see, that's what I'm talking about, people. You need to follow.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know when the 12 o'clock somewhere show is happening, and you ain't following, you're going to miss it. You're going to have to catch it up in the archives. You won't be able to be in the chat room. All that cool stuff going on there. You need to follow. That's the way Spreaker's working.
And we have a lot of fun with 12 o'clock somewhere show.
It's
we
a
got
great
people
show.
that turn in,
I love that show.
That tune in all the time. We put a lot of music in there. I talk a lot about people.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go into the gossip. Sometimes we go into that type of stuff. But it's fun. It is really, really fun. And people go ahead and still says I should call it whatever I feel like show.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, brother. Brothers and all. We've been trying to take away that title that you got, the Jerry Springer of Hoodoo. We're just trying to go for the Jerry Springer of witchcraft, but we've been a gossip show couple times. Nothing
So
big.
who the hell gave me that damn name, the Jerry Springer of Hoodoo?
You got that name. John St. Germain gave you that name. We've been trying to work. We at least want to be the Maury Povich of witchcraft. Something like that. I mean, Jerry Springer, that might be a little high to aim.
Listen, let me let you in on a little something.
Let me in on a little something, please.
Okay, he calls me the Jerry Springer of Hoodoo, okay?
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little something about St. Jeremy, or whatever his fucking name is. Have you ever listened to one of his shows?
I used to reluctantly not admit that, but now since things went to where they were, I will admit that I have never listened to one of his shows. Yes. No.
Okay.
Yes.
He has to still say he sure turned out to be a jerk for a Buddhist monk. Okay. He has the most monotone voice. See, because what people don't know is that him Miss Cat. What is the other one's name? The one that wrote the book on Bogomancy.
Oh God.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss.
Keone? No,
no,
Dr.
Jeremy Weiss.
Dr. Who?
Jeremy Weiss.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Do you know that all those people were carnies?
All of them?
At one time or another? Huh?
Them and Anton LaVey, huh? Carnies.
Yeah, they were all carnies at one time.
That's
Not that
interesting.
carnies are bad, but carnies are a part of the Sideshow Act.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's just what they do. They fill you up with bullshit, and they let you go with nothing.
Well, I never listened to his show.
Okay, this is something that a lot of people won't tell you. They were all carnies.
Yeah. But one thing that I did notice...
Miss Catherine Wood,
she was
Saint Germain, and Jeremy Weiss. They were all carnies at one time. Okay?
God,
So-
how often do you even meet a carny?
Well, these are people that traveled around in carnivals.
I
Shit
know,
like that
but
there.
how often do you run into one of those? I know 3.
Well, you got 3 of them. You got 3 of them in there, and some other ones too. I don't have any bones to pick with them. All right.
Well,
if you don't want the driest fucking reading you can ever get from someone, okay?
Yeah.
Get a fucking reading from Catherine Ironwood.
Well, of course,
Get a reading from her.
of course, both. Yeah, of course, both me and Marta have had to do that when we started the hoodoo course that none of us finished. Marta was doing well. She was finishing her homework and all that, but shit turned the way it turned, so we stopped doing that and we kept the book. But yeah, I had one of those readings. The reading was more about herself and stuff she'd been through. It was interesting stuff that I learned, but there wasn't really a whole lot about me in that reading.
And there wasn't anything about there wasn't anything less about the things about how pretty the car is. Well, I got this card. This card breaks down into this and this and this and this and this and this. By the way, what is your zodiac sign? Oh, okay. And what is a better half zodiac sign? Oh, okay. So this, and the card tells me this, the card tells me that, but Spirit ain't telling her shit.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you,
You understand? There's no connection to Spirit. Huh?
For the longest time, my rule on Facebook was if I had 3 mutual friends with somebody, I would accept it. And I've had to up that because of John St. Germain and a couple other people. But it was always the one consistent thing was always John St. Germain. When I accidentally would accept a friend request from what turned out to be a Facebook hoe, John St. Germain was the one mutual friend always in common. He always accepted the friend request from the Facebook hoe. And so I had to up my parameters. Like, okay, 3 is not enough because there's like John St. Germain and 2 other dudes that are stupid enough to accept these hoes fucking friend requests where they're going to next send you, hey, look at my friend's fucking nude pictures. No. Or try and get money out of it.
I got to tell you something. Well, she, what can I say, man? You want to know who's the better bone reader?
Yes. Of course.
Is the Beast Bone Raiders Strix? It's Michelle Jackson.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well.
Plain and simple.
Okay, I thought you were talking about people still in Lucky Mojo. That was an easy question. I should have been able to answer that. Of course, Michelle Jackson.
She's gone from Lucky Mojo. She's gone.
Well, that's most of the black people are gone, and as a result, there wasn't really any hoodoo at the Hoodoo Heritage Festival this year. Was there any hoodoo?
Even from the white people, I don't think.
I mean, none of the white people even brought any hoodoo. The white people were left over. I didn't see any hoodoo. Did you see hoodoo?
I don't recall.
I don't recall any hoodoo at the Hoodoo Heritage Festival this year, and this is the year after they lost all the black people. I'll just break it down like that.
They got some African Americans there now, but I got
they got a couple Uncle Toms. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
The only one that I would, the
Toma.
only one that I would honestly trust with anything there would be Miss Robin White. Miss Robin.
Yeah.
Okay?
She's still
That's the only African American there that I know there that knows their shit. The rest of them fucking bitches, they just push them on there.
Huh.
So we need some black people, let's fill this shit up. That's what they did.
Yep.
All right? If you notice, they haven't had one African American male there since Keone.
Yeah. You know, I always thought that it was, you know,
They have
I
never
understand
a real African American root worker. They haven't had one there since Keone. Because everybody that has said something to her has said something about the way she does things. She has crossed off and she has blocked and she has deleted and then started a smear campaign.
Oh yes, block. You know, one of the things I always thought about with the hoodoo course was the requirement to have an African American friend and ask them a bunch of fucking questions. And well, it was an attempt to not be racist. That ends up extremely racist. To just like assume that your African American friend has roots in hoodoo or related, magics
is,
or
man,
something like that, and you have to go and interview them.
Let me tell you something about Kat, and I don't give a fuck because she can sue me. I don't have any fucking money.
Yeah.
She has a dossier files on everyone. Okay.
A what?
A file.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. She has a file on fucking everyone because her head is just strung that way. Hers and her husband. So they got files on me, on you, on probably even Martha.
Oh yeah, Martha.
Okay, she has files on every single person that has ever worked with her, has ever bought something from her shop, and everything.
Oh yeah, well, especially
right? That's why she goes.
File, yeah.
Huh?
Especially
what?
if you take her course, you got a file.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
yeah.
No, but she keeps files on everybody, even on people that haven't taken a course.
You know, I'm sure she does, but you know, I'm less organized these days. But I used to have a file like that, and you know, when I would meet somebody, I would always, retire to their bathroom to go pee or something like that, find their fucking brush, retrieve their hair, put it in a file. For later when they turn on.
No, but that's not the type of file I'm talking about.
No, okay, yeah.
That's not the type of file I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So she does this, and then she'll go against you and try to destroy you. She's done it to several people.
Yeah.
But see, what happens is that I could care less about those hoodoo housewives. Okay? I could care less about any of these motherfuckers coming to me talking about you need a reading to get pay back. Or to get your fucking pool boy back. I could care less.
Well, you know,
okay?
you know me.
Candelo Kimbisa. I was Candelo Kimbisa when I went there, and I was Candelo Kimbisa when I left there. Yeah. All right? And all the real workers, the real workers of air, the real workers, the ones that knew anything, left when I left.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something that'll piss a lot of people off. This is my witch mother. You know, I didn't have a hoodoo grandmother. I was just joking about that. But the woman that I called mom, Judith Dufresne, the one that raised me in witchcraft, when she taught about witchcraft and folk magic, she had a very different spin, and it will piss a lot of people off. But I will still roll with the spin for at least the majority of the folk magicians that I know. And what she said witchcraft is an art and a science, and folk magic is the observation of that art and science. And then she went further. She said folk magic is the folk trying to duplicate what they saw the witch do. And then the last line, she said the difference was that the witch knows what works, but also knows why it works. The folk magician just knows what works. And
Right.
I found that true with at least a lot of folk magic people. They know it works. It's like a witch, to me, a witch needs to know why it works, why it won't work, how to work it sideways, how to work it backwards, how to work it at an angle. They know every fucking thing about it. And I've met just a lot of folk magicians that just kind of blending a recipe together that they heard about. And they don't understand why the recipe works. And I think that's really important. But I know a lot of, probably the same amount of folk magicians that don't fall into that category. They do understand why it works. It's like, why do you have a heating ingredient in a recipe? Well, that's because of the laws of physics. Where you have heat, you have energy. If you have a heating ingredient in a recipe, cinnamon, galangal, ginger, these kinds of things, it's causing heat in the oil or the water or the wash, whatever you're fucking doing. It's constantly creating heat in that. That's energy. It's like, so there's a little bit of science involved too. And so she always said that. And it's like, I found like a lot of people that I know studying magic, they just kind of know some recipes. They don't really understand why it works. And if you don't understand why it works or how it works, you can't make your own recipes. And your own recipes are always going to be better than those you got from, Ray Malboro or whoever the fuck's out there writing that shit. All right, back to you, sir.
Well, yeah, well, you're absolutely right. And, you got to know the aspects of magic, man. There's certain plants that won't work with certain people no matter what the fuck they do.
Yes.
Okay? So, there's certain plants that won't work with you. They just won't. Okay?
Huh?
Maybe it's inside your ancestral DNA. I don't know what the fuck it is. Okay? So, yeah, you can take these things, but a lot of these things can be twerked. Okay? Nothing in this spirituality is written in stone. Okay? Because, what was found here was not found in another place. This magic is very regional.
Yes.
It's very regional. So we have to remember that. We also have to remember that, if you're working with magic, you're working with spiritual things. Okay? Mm-hmm. I hate the fact that she thinks that all Southern conjure was also Christian based. You notice I didn't call it voodoo.
Yes.
You notice I didn't call it voodoo.
Well, of course that pisses me off.
It pisses you off too?
I don't like that. I've been a witch my whole life, and the church has been the enemy. And as time goes on, I see how the benefit of having a declared external enemy is, because without that, over the years when people, that everything changed, we're going to try and get along. That just makes a bunch of backbiting factions that attack each other all over the place. And the only time I ever knew solidarity in witchcraft is when the church was our enemy. And we all agreed that the church was out to get us and would do away with us. And I know, it comes up in hoodoo. There's many levels of Apollo that incorporate that too. But the church would put a Polero to death, a hoodoo to death, a witch to death, under the same circumstances as anything else. They've declared a lot of our practices heresy, even though they're legal in the Bible in other places. But yeah, so yeah, basically I have a problem with the church. Yeah.
Do you want to laugh?
Of course I want to laugh.
She put out an ad saying that she needs someone to, if anybody wants to contribute to the Lucky Mojo page, whatever it was, on Southern Conjure, was it? Well, she didn't say hoodoo. She totally took off the African American hoodoo off of it. Oh, wow. Remember that whatever she does is very calculated. Okay?
Yes.
So she took off the whole African American reference and said something to the effect of that. You know why she did that, right? Because she had someone that used to slave over that damn thing, Miss Aida, and Miss Aida also left there.
Yeah. I know some
so
white
now,
people left there too.
Yeah, so now they have no one. Now she has no one to look over that. So guess what? You know, she's scraping around for stuff, okay? And she's not going to get it because the backbone of it is gone. I heard she was hitting her head against the table, wondering why this year's the Hoodoo Heritage Festival didn't go as well as the prior years.
Well. First of all, she made it to compete with another festival. She changed the time. It's like we just today started getting memories from when we were at the Hoodoo Heritage Festival in Facebook. But it's like she altered the time to try and interfere with you all's the Conjugalis.
Yes.
She altered the place where it happened. I mean, part of the beauty of it was having it at the Lucky Mojo place. You know, the shops right there, all the land, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, those are all good memories that are fucking dead to us now that none of us will ever have again. You know, they altered the time to fuck with y'all, and it didn't work out.
Well, brother, let me tell you something. There was another key ingredient missing in that festival. Okay? And the key ingredients were people.
Yes.
The key ingredients were Charles Porterfield, who ran.
Fuck yeah! How do you do it without? I can't even imagine it without Charles Porterfield. Yes.
Charles Porterfield ran around and worked that damn thing like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have Miss Aida, who did a lot of stuff for the festival, before the festival and during the festival. You didn't have Michelle Jackson, who was a presenter there that people just loved to go see her give her classes on her bones.
Yeah.
You know, believe it or not, there was a year that the actual year that you met me there.
Yes.
We had people that came from England, from Australia.
Yes, that
from
was
several
the best
places
year ever.
around the world. From several places around the world to come and see Candelo Kimbisa.
Yes. Well, that's how I ended up there. You're the one throw you under the bus. You're the one talked me into going there in the first place. I wouldn't have got involved with those people in the first place. And you know, it wasn't bad. You know, it worked out okay. I thought I met a lot of good people, and the good people I met outweigh the people that suck ass now. And
there was just and E.F. Still, you're absolutely right. Her husband is atheistic, but so is she. She is conveniently spiritual.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not even going to say that she's conveniently Jewish. She is conveniently spiritual. Okay?
Well, you know, to have a net worth of 10 million, you know, a lot of people would be conveniently spiritual.
And all of a sudden, I'm the biggest anti-Semite ever. Or I'm a big anti-Christian. I'm a big this.
Yeah. You're always hanging out with Charles Porterfield. You're so anti-Semitic, yeah.
And you know what? And you know what I've noticed, too, between us?
Yeah.
All right? That I eat more kosher than she does.
All right. That sounds like a good time to go to a break. Let's go to a break. We'll play a song. Back when we first started Widdershins, Candelo wasn't on the show, but we were talking about Tiger Gate. And we decided to put this song in the lineup for Tiger Gate. So we're going to take a stroll down memory lane here.
shore. I've known it all alone, like the bone under my skin, like actors in a photograph, like paper in the wind. There's a hammer by the window, there's a knife on the floor, like turbines in darkness, like the blood on my door. It's the generator. Oh yeah, like the blood on my door. Wash me clean and I will run until I reach the shore.
Bad Religion on Widdershins Radio. You are tuned into. And I want to tell y'all, you can find me on YouTube at FreakPhil1309. That's FreakPhil, the number's 1309. Find me all over Facebook at Birch Tree, I think it's Birch Tree Crafts. You can find me at Michael Carell. Unity of Wicca and Witchcraft, that's me too. That's a secret. The Sacred Grove, Los Angeles, you can find me there. You can find me at gumroad.com. That's gum like gum on your shoe, road like the road. .com/witch school. That's of course WITCHSKEWL. That's my favorite one. That's where people they download my teachings, they own them forever, and they pay me for them. I don't have to act like a bill collector or fuck around or dick around or do any of that other shit that I have to do. I teach, they learn. They have that. They own it forever. They download it onto their computer. They learn that forever. And I get paid. They get paid. Beautiful. Beautiful situation. Got new stuff coming up on Gumroad all the time. But before I get back to Candelo, I want to put a shout out to the fucking fool that after last week's show tried to flag me on YouTube 9 times for playing copyrighted music. Fascinating that you gave me 9 hits to do that. I counted them. I got 9 hits from the same person because they wanted to flag me from all my copyrighted music because this show gets rebroadcast on YouTube. I think it's about like half an hour after the broadcast it gets posted on YouTube. So somebody tried to fuck with me over there, and you know, I'm not monetized, you stupid fucking bitch. YouTube doesn't fucking care. I'm not monetized. I do not have commercials on my YouTube channel. And if you do not have commercials on your YouTube channel and you play copyrighted music, anybody that doesn't like it can suck it. You know, YouTube didn't exactly say that in those exact words, but the equivalent of the message they sent to me was, you, sir or ma'am, you can suck it. Hello, Candelo. How are you?
Yeah, brother. And let me tell you something. There is actually something on on Spreaker that you can pay and you can use a bunch of their music, and they pay the royalties for it.
I looked at that and I didn't see hardly any. There was like 2 songs.
Well, no, they'll do it. I mean, somehow or the other.
Okay.
But anyway, I can't stand fucking people anyway. I don't know why they would do that, but obviously you're getting more fools than something.
I got 9 hits from that fool. Fuck him.
Well, and I want to read something that, I'm so glad that my friends have photographic memories, because I honestly cannot remember shit, okay? And I did have him on my show, okay? And she says he is openly atheistic. Yes, he is, okay? Because he says that was the best CC Candelo's Corner show. Candelo, so you are a Satanist? I asked him. And he says, yes. I said, do you worship demons? He says, no. And I says, oh, okay. So, and I understand that a lot of Satanists do not go to that school where, demons and things like that there. Because I, for one, do not believe in the devil.
I do not either.
I do not believe in the devil, and I do not believe in demons. Okay? No such thing. Okay? Because if they were so prevalent, they'd be walking around us all day, every day. I don't believe in that myth. I believe that there are ancestral spirits that take on those faces to scare the shit out of people because they're not elevated enough. They were just plain assholes in mundane life, and now they're assholes in spiritual life. Okay, so that's what I believe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I can't argue
that sometimes.
I forget who's the host now. I feel the same way. I think. Well, first of all, there's Satan. Satan and Lucifer get linked together all the time, but they're entirely different figures. And then the snake in the Garden of Eden, they all get linked together. That's an entirely different character too. There's all kinds of different characters going on, but my problem with all of it is that maybe it's my training as a witch. It was the way that the tradition that I was brought up in looked at the Bible. The Bible is a metaphorical calendar of historical events. Everything that's mentioned in the Bible is actually referring to somebody else or something else. It's a metaphor. The majority of the characters in the Bible are planets or stars. And if you change that back into planets and stars, the book makes a lot more sense. It's a calendar telling you when certain historical events happen. And they're using like Lucifer. The fall of Lucifer is probably the most classic. Lucifer wasn't even a star. Lucifer was Venus. And in that tongue, the fall would be a retrograde. It would be a retrograde cycle for Venus at which 72 meteors fell from the sky. And they're telling you something else. Something happened historically at that moment that happened. When Venus went retrograde and 72 meteors fell, they're pointing at something else that happened, and nobody's looking at that. They're looking at this tale that happened about Lucifer falling with 72 angels. It's not about that. It's about planets and stars, and if you put it back into the context that it was originally written in, it's a history book. It's telling you when something happened. Kind of like the whole Armageddon, like we were talking about before. Like Cain and Abel's the classic example, all the way back to Sumeria, ancient civilization of Sumeria. I think it's 3,600 years ago, at least that long, older than any other civilization. They had this tale in their tablets about this planet Cain that was on an elliptical orbit, and this elliptical orbit made it collide with its brother. In the ancient text, it said it slayed its brother Cain. The planet, or Abel slayed Cain. Abel was a planet, came in on an elliptical orbit, crashed into Cain, which was another planet, destroying that planet utterly, and creating an asteroid belt out of that planet. And scientifically, a couple thousand years later, science finds, wow, there's an asteroid belt right there. And the Sumerians are classics. It's like everything that they said about every planet and every moon around every planet in the solar system turned out to be true. And they had no reason to have that knowledge. But yeah, you're my guest. You talk. We're running out of time.
Well, brother, that's
you
it.
got anything
That's
to plug? We're like 6:53.
What?
You got anything to plug? Plug your
Well,
website,
the only thing I gotta plug is
upcoming
the things,
events.
like I said, the Conjure Gala in Denver, Colorado, the Mile High Conjure Gala in Denver, Colorado, right around my birthday. Okay, it is a haunted place. It's going to be in the Lumber Baron Inn. Okay, Professor Charles Porterfield will be there. Michelle Jackson, Miss Aida, Beverly Smith, Ambrosine Laguerre, Ryan James, Professor Ames, and there's some more other people that have been adding on. So I can't remember all the people, but we're going to have 3 days of conjure classes, readings, and selling stuff and just meeting people. The marijuana dispensary is like right around the corner, guys. If you like to smoke,
oh yeah, Colorado.
Get your high on. Come back to the damn thing. It's a very pot-friendly neighborhood. Dude, I love Colorado, and I love it at that time of year, right around September, okay? Right around September, I mean, we all get together and go out to dinners and stuff like that there, and stuff like that there, man. And then at the very end, we have a dance where the bar is open. Everybody gets out and has a wonderful time. It gets real good. In June, we have the thing for the Feast of St. John in lovely New Orleans with Mama Star and Zen Moise, which was on your show, I believe, last week.
Yes.
And what else? And on the 25th, of course, Iyawo's Journey was going to be there. I'm sorry, that's not her name anymore. I don't know why she hasn't changed it. She's no longer in Iyawo. She's Ifa Abeyu. She's going to be there. Yvette, the Motown Witch, is going to be there. Nick Brown is going to be there. Man, listen, the list goes on and on and
That's
on.
a huge list.
Conjure is there.
How many days is that event?
It's going to be 2 days.
2 days? You're going to fit all that in?
I think it's going to be 2 or 3 days. Okay?
My gods. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I of course
get your Conjure Gala on.
And I of course got a room at the Lumber Baron Inn, so I'm very happy about that. And hey, dude, things are popping and moving in the right direction, and I cannot complain.
Beautiful.
I cannot complain. Like I said, I am now in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm only 40 minutes away from Professor Porterfield. I already met some people here, and like I said, we're doing I'm doing consultations at the house. Doing Paulo, getting Diorisha on.
Yeah.
If I get my Oba to come over here. We're doing warriors for people. We're doing everything. We're getting it on.
Beautiful. Well, hell, brother, thanks for coming on. Got to have you on
thank you
more than
for
that. That's like flew by.
Thank you for having me on. It was fun, brother. And whenever you do need me, just tell me. I need to get with you sometime this week so you can explain to me how the hell you got me on the show. Okay.
All right.
Is this an actual Skype number that you're using now?
Yeah. We had to get I'm not sure if I have to pay for the Skype number, but I did. So yeah, it's a phone number.
I do pay. I do pay for
Skype.
a Skype number, so I do have that.
Yeah. So it's through Skype, but Spreaker's got a way to integrate it, and yeah, we'll talk through it.
Yeah, we'll talk through it. All right, brother. Well, thank you for having me on, man.
Oh, well, thanks for coming on, brother. Salam alaikum.
And thank you for all the people. And thanks for all the people that came in here. Iyawo's Journey, Lorelei, Crystal Turner, Strix, E.F. Steele, Professor Porterfield, and so many more I can't answer. So anyway, everybody, man, may all the egos and shadows that accompany you have all the necessary light. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salah. I missed hearing that last part for a long time. All right. Talk to you later, bro.
Talk to you later, brother.
Candelo Kimbisa. Yeah.
So bad now, 'cause you're the best girl that I'll ever have now. I can't get your love, I can't get satisfaction. Little girl, psychotic reaction, and it sounds like this. Your love, I must stay away. I want you, girl.